The House Oversight Committee is investigating President Biden's handling of classified records. The committee's new Republican chair notified the White House yesterday, asking in a letter for all documents that were retrieved from Biden's personal office. The president says he was surprised when his lawyers discovered classified documents at that office he used after serving as vice president. ABC's Jay O'Brien joins me live from Capitol Hill now for more on this. Jay, Republicans had signaled that they planned to launch multiple investigations into the Biden administration upon taking control of the House. Now the House Oversight Committee is investigating this discovery of classified documents at President Biden's old office. So what are they trying to find out?
Well, when you take control of the House of Representatives, you also take control of the committees that the House has. And that's why you're hearing about this steady drumbeat of investigations that Republicans want to conduct into the Biden administration, into President Biden's family. As you said, James Comer, the new chair of the House Oversight Committee, is asking for those documents that were seized and taken from President Biden's office, or handed over, rather, by Biden's own attorneys. To give you some context, there are approximately about 10 of these documents. Some are marked top secret. Again, President Biden's attorneys found them and handed them over. They weren't taken like the documents from Mar-a-Lago that were seized by FBI agents. They were discovered last November, just days before the midterm elections. And again, some are marked top secret. James Comer has accused President Biden of potentially mishandling classified information. The White House hit back against that in a statement. They said that this is a political stunt, this series of investigations from House Republicans, that Republicans are not focusing on issues that the American people care about. But it's a preview, Diane, of what will be 2 years, most likely, of drama between the Biden White House and this new Congress, this new House controlled by Republicans who want to open investigations into everything from Hunter Biden to the Afghanistan withdrawal, to the situation at the border, to even the origins of COVID.
Now, Jay, the House is set to vote on several pieces of new anti-abortion legislation this week. So what's in those bills and how much support do they have?
Well, this is legislation that is an opening salvo from conservatives in the House. Again, they've taken control of the House, which means you can decide which bills you bring to the floor and which bills you vote on. This is a piece of legislation that's going to get voted on today. Is about infants who survive abortions. There's also legislation about federal funding for abortions. A lot of this is stuff that's already in federal law to a degree. This would be a stricter version of it in some cases. But again, this is another preview of what you're going to see over the next 2 years, which is that any legislation that passes the House of Representatives with Republican support is likely to be dead on arrival in a Democrat-controlled Senate. So unless Republicans in the House work with Democrats in the Senate and get legislation that can pass in both chambers, a lot of this is what are so-called messaging bills, which Republicans will bring to the floor, vote on, and then send to the Senate for the Senate largely to reject, Diane.
And last week, Jay, we saw some dramatic moments play out on camera during that contentious House Speaker election, and now some unlikely allies are pushing to have extra cameras in the House chamber more often. Now, it's not the first time this request is being made, but does it stand a better chance of happening with this House leadership?
Well, the reason why you saw it is because until there was a Speaker of the House, and we were saying all last week, there are no rules in that chamber, which means that the cameras in that chamber could operate largely without the rules that they currently have. So you saw Kevin McCarthy go up and whip votes directly. You saw that moment where Mike Rogers was pulled away from Matt Gaetz. You saw McCarthy and Gaetz have that conversation and say, we're going to get this vote done tonight at the end of everything. That was a week of unprecedented access to the House floor, the likes you've never seen. And now you have Matt Gaetz say that he wants those cameras to have that kind of access all the time. Maxwell Frost, the first Gen Z congressman, a Democrat from Florida. Gaetz is a Republican from Florida, also saying he's on board with that. We've seen other lawmakers say the same thing. C-SPAN has said that they want that access as well. Whether or not that happens is unclear, but certainly it was a view into the lawmaking process that the American public had never seen. It has some support. We'll see if it goes all the way. But I can tell you, in the press corps, from us, that is something that we're largely in support of, because you want to watch this process play out, and the American people deserve to see this process play out.
All right, Jay O'Brien, never a dull moment. We appreciate you keeping track of it all for us. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.